Hello and welcome, this is Mercenary, and we're back with some more BattleTech. So we finished off all of the contracts that are here that isn't a priority one. We do have one that's here that's a priority one, but at this moment, we couldn't do it even if I wanted to. We have we have a few, but only 3 healthy mech warriors. So we've been taking a lot of injuries. So until we get them better, I think we have to move somewhere else. All right, well, we do have some repair work to do. Our Wolverine lost its leg, so we obviously have to repair that. And because it's a substantial thing that needs replaced, we're going to have to do a refit. I don't think we're going to do anything major with the Wolverine, not unless I have some items that are already upgraded that we'd want to use. For example, the AC-5 might have some, but let's go ahead and replace. And then we just need some jump jets here. So 1 and 2. All right, let's go back to our weapons though. So I think just the AC-5 with more damage makes the most sense out of what I'm looking at here. So let's go ahead and select that. So AC-5 remove, and AC-5 with damage get added. This will probably boost this as our higher up backup mech. Okay, that's all of our changes. Let's confirm. So that's going to take 5 days. That's not too bad.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
Okay, and we also have some refitting we can do. Now that we're not going to be in combat, I feel more comfortable doing some refitting of the dragon here. So I've been giving some thought to what I want to do with the dragon. And let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, let's first take a look at the store. Maybe we can do something that will improve the mech in some way. So we have another AC-5 plus 2 accuracy plus 10 stability damage. I mean, that sounds pretty good. I might want to pick that up. We've got the LRM-20 with plus stability damage. That's not as enticing as I would like. Do we have any special equipment? Nope, not that I see. Okay, let's go ahead and grab that AC-5. As, you know, we have a decent number of mechs that use AC-5s. So this seems like not too bad of a weapon. Now, I'm not going to use this on the dragon. What I'm going to do with the dragon, and this is going to be a significant modification as well, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the dragon to be more effective. And the biggest problem with the dragon is it's got pretty good armor. Not stellar for its weight, but it's got decent armor. It's going to be on par with the same tonnage as a Hunchback, and it's going to beat out the Shadowhawks and the Griffins and the Wolverines and stuff like that. So that's not too bad, considering the other mechs that we have. The problem is damage. If you do the math, you got 45 plus another 40 from the LRM-10, because 4 times 10, and then you've got the 2 medium lasers. So when all is told, you're not really doing a ton of damage. If my math is correct and off the top of my head, 135 damage, which is okay, but it's not great for the weight. If we look at some of the other mechs that we are running right now, in particular the Centurion, which used to be our main mech of our starter mechs, if you want to call it that. That can do with the AC-10, well, that's 60 damage. You've got another LRM-10, so there's 100 damage with those two. Then you have the 2 medium lasers, this is 150. So a 10-ton lighter mech, yeah, you're losing out on maneuverability because this mech's faster, and you're losing out on armor, but we're losing out a little bit on damage as well. So I want to get this thing's damage up a little bit. So let's go ahead and strip out the AC-5, because I think that's going to be a great way of doing that. That's going to free up 10 tons for us. I'm going to strip out the LRM-10. And ooh, okay, maybe I can't do the modification I wanted to. How many slots does an LRM-15 take? 3. Well, that's a bummer. I was going to do missile systems, but unfortunately the placement of the missile slots here causes me some issues. So I was going to put an SRM-6 in this, give us more firepower, but I won't be able to fit it because it takes up 2 slots. I could maybe do an SRM4, but we're sacrificing damage for that. If I'd been able to fit in an SRM6, that would have been worth it. So at this, we're getting 40 damage added on. So right now, this is 60, 40. It gets us to 150, where we were with the Centurion, and then we have all of the advantages. So let's say we slot this in as well. So thankfully, it is a damage upgrade, which is nice. And I'm using the special LRM-15 to make this a little bit more effective, because this is probably going to be our frontline mech, or our starter mech, as I said before. Okay, so that gives us a lot of tonnage still to work with, but I do have to add ammo onto this thing to make it effective. The 2 LRM ammo, that's fine. That's probably good enough. We could slot in... Well, let's just get the SRM ammo now. I'm going to put it here for now, but that might not be where it stays. Okay, we still have 5 tons to work with. I could go with jump jets, but we probably run really hot if I do that. The heat efficiency is okay right now, but it'd be pretty bad once I put in all those jump jets. Which I don't have the right type of jump jets now that I think about it. I have to buy some from the store, which I don't know if they're here or not. Let's revert real quick and let's see what's at the store. But that's a little bit of a bummer that both the missile slots are in that center torso, because that really limits what you can do. All right, well, let's take a look at the store. All right, so at the store, we are more interested in equipment here. We'd need jump jet H's. Might be a good idea to pick these up anyway. Now, the big problem is that they're twice as heavy. Normal jump jet standard ones are half a ton apiece. Once you get into the heavy category, you're talking about a ton apiece. This would give us a nice maneuverability, and we could do up to 5, and then, yeah, up to 5. So that'd be really a maneuverable mech if we did that. Now, we don't have to do jump jets, and that's not standard for a dragon. It just was a thought. I'm still going to buy them just so that we have the versatility of doing it later. So let's buy...
New equipment available.
I'm going to do 4 for now.
Available.
All right. Let's go back to the mech bay and take a look at this dragon. So that refit that I was looking at is still not a bad one. It gets us to the same damage level that we had with the Centurion. Now, you're throwing away a little bit of long-range damage, because with this setup, we can do 85 damage at range. If I swap this out and we get a LRM-15 instead, we are dropping that down to 60 at range. So we're losing 25 damage at range, but we're gaining damage closer in. An LRM-20 is going to be even more slots, so that's not going to really help me out. But again, I think this is the right move. And then we get rid of this. Put in the LRM-15. Grab that SRM-4, so we're finally using this. Okay, we need the SRM ammo. And that should be plenty for the one SRM-4. That's, you know, that's a lot of shots with an SRM-4. All right, what other slots can we take advantage of then that we have 5 tons worth? Well, we do have the support weapons. What can we do with that? Okay. I could do a couple flamers and we could call this thing a fire dragon. And then maybe we do heat efficiency after that. I kind of like that theme. Now, I don't know if where I have things is where I'm going to keep things as far as where they are right now. This does kind of put a lot of our eggs in one basket if I put it all in the left torso. If the enemy focuses on that, we lose a big chunk of our firepower. And they could also get the ammo crits, which would, again, reduce our firepower. If they took out our left torso, we'd lose every bit of weaponry we have outside of just being able to punch. So that's unfortunate with the way the mech's set up, but that's just the way it's set up. So there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to split the ammo a little bit. So we're going to do LRM ammo over there and SRM ammo over there. Now, there's nothing else in here yet, but I'm going to put some heat sinks in. So we'll put one heat sink there, and we'll put another heat sink here. So there we go. Heat efficiency is pretty fantastic. We managed to get the firepower up. Now, this is close-range firepower, though. And we have a ton left, so we can get this thing a little bit more up-armored as well. So, let's go ahead and do that. Now, honestly, I don't think flamers are all that effective a weapon. This is mostly just for a silly theme, calling it a fire dragon, but let's go with that. So, let's go ahead and give it one tick in every slot. Come on, button. And then we'll kind of concentrate things in a little bit. I'll go with one more in the leg. That way I'll take a little bit of damage to take us out in the legs. And as I said, the left torso is pretty important. So let's put some tonnage. I'm going to go like that to even it up. But then I'm going to make the left torso just that little bit better. Okay. So that's our setup with the dragon. As I said, I'm going to rename this. So we're going to call it the Fire Dragon. And there we go. So this role that it's going to be fitting is going to be as that kind of multi-role mission that the Centurion does, but it's also kind of a backup support mech if we need it, because that LRM-15 still is going to give us some support functionality. All right, 6 days. Considering all the changes that we're making, that's not too bad.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
All right. It is fun that they model in the weapons. Stripping all those weapons out, well, we see pretty much nothing here except probably the medium lasers. I don't remember where those are located. Yeah, we have one here, and then we have one in the arm. I see it right there. So it's kind of fun that they do that. All right, well, let's take a look at our tasks and see how we want to order this. So the Fire Dragon is going to be a little bit more important now, as we have made that one of our starter mechs, more or less. So the Blitz Griffin, Fire Dragon, Centurion is going to now be a backup mech for us. And the other ones are also backup mechs, so that's fine that they are going to take a little bit more time. All right, so that's enough messing around with mechs. Let's go ahead and take a look. I don't think I should do anything with Mech Warriors because we're going to have our financial time very soon. So let's go to the... Well, first let's go to the contracts to see if we have a travel contract that we'd want to do. All right, I'm not interested in either of these. There is a risk, me traveling where I'm going to end up traveling, that there won't be any contracts when we get there, but we're just going to have to take that possibility. Because I really want to go to New Vandenberg, if I remember correctly, because it's a nice, rich manufacturing world with research and all that stuff. Very good likelihood we'll be able to find some really cool stuff off the store here. And also, it starts us being able to do jobs for the Tarian Concordant. And I think getting more wrap-up with other factions would be a good idea, just so we're not stuck in this one area of space. We have to have time go on anyway, because we have so many injuries on our pilots. We want them all to come back. There should be plenty of time to allow that to happen, and our mechs will all be repaired, and all that stuff will happen. So, let's go ahead and travel. Going to cost 60,000 because we're not having a travel contract.
Calculating course now, Commander.
All right, I didn't pay attention to our ship upgrades, like when those are going to happen, so we have one in 5 days. Oh, okay, power surge in the mech bay. While you're inspecting a trebuchet, an intense power surge ripples through the cavernous mech bay. Oh, don't mess up my trebuchet. From the top of a gantry ladder above you, Yang hollers at his mech techs as repair tools spark wildly, cables and lifts spasm, and a barrel of something oily looking inexplicably combusts. Scanning for a way to help, you find a master control panel. A massive emergency shutoff breaker beckons, as well as numerous individual power switches. Ah, we don't have the mech bay automation. I didn't take that yet. Hold the emergency shutoff. That seems like the best call rather than guess. There's a possibility that certain things will happen with that, but, you know, let's go with that. So he loses a tech point for 14 days. Well, let's just read the description here. Resisting the urge to randomly turn off individual systems, you give the single emergency shutoff a decisive pull. Emergency breaker kicks in with an audible pop. Disquieting silence fills the mech bay. Yang casts a discerning eye over the trebuchet and other mechs in the bay, then calls down to you. Sorry, boss, but our current projects are going to be in the shop longer than planned. Well, that does suck, but it's not the end of the world because we're traveling right now. So, all right, 14 days. Well, again, that will happen during the travel too, so we'll get that back. Could have been worse if the trebuchet had taken damage. I would have not liked that because that's one of our starter mechs, again, if I'm going to call it that. All right, let's go ahead and play. Okay, here comes our financial report. All right. It's, you know, it's tempting to go with the generous, but at this moment, it costs us so much to keep this going. So I think we're just going to have to go with normal, and we'll use the ship upgrades to help our morale if we can. Okay. Speaking of the ship upgrades, we're going to have that in a second. So you kind of get negative consequences for not having certain upgrades done. Which makes sense, because this ship is kind of ramshackle, and we're trying to get it in more a state of being ready to go. Okay, so the power conduits are done, so hopefully we will have less negative effects from that, but we do need to talk to, well, at least get the ship upgrades done. And this is part of the expense that we have to deal with. So drive systems are now capable of being upgraded, which would get us places faster, which does have its advantages. I don't think there's a reason to do the power system or the structure right now. The habitat bay is going to give us more mech warriors, which I think is a kind of a low priority for me right now. This is going to cost too much to do, although we would get that morale up. Honestly, the automation beckons to me, especially as that just did become a thing. We could get another mech bay, but I don't think we can afford it right now. So let's focus on getting the automation up and running. So things like that don't happen in the future. It just, you know, the order, what we did, when we did it, if I did things in a different order, we probably would have had a better outcome there. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and purchase this.
All right, I'll get the team on it right away.
Okay. And that will be done before I think we get where we are going, too. So we have 21 days still to travel. That'll take 10 days. All right, let's continue. Okay, so we only have a couple mechs left. I don't think there's any major modifications I want to do.
That work order is complete.
Okay, that's done.
Top-notch work, if I may say so.
Let's take a look at what other upgrades we may want. I may not be able to afford them, though, so I have to keep that in mind. So, because we're going to have another financial before I can get anywhere else. And if there's no contracts where I'm going, getting more systems is going to be a bad idea. Okay, so this isn't that expensive. It gives us more tech points. I think we go for the beta pod at this point, because I do want to get a better med bay. Feel like that's where we're a little behind. So, oh, that's very expensive, though. Oh boy. All right, well, I think we go with what we can afford, and that would be improve automation. That's the only thing I can afford right now, in my mind. So 20 days, okay. We'll go with that.
Sure thing. It'll take
And
me
hopefully we
a
get some
bit.
good money on some contracts here. If not, well, we at least get to see what the value of being in a planet like this is. I really hope we don't encounter something like that where we don't find any contracts. All right, let's go ahead and continue. So pilots are coming back. Okay, new holovids. The Argo's current budget includes a line item for crew entertainment. So after polling the morning briefing for preferences, Darius places an order. Soon a shipment of popular new holovid chips from New Vandenberg arrives. Okay, we're going there, so that's nice. A mix of action, historical drama, horror, screwball comedies, and animated features. So we can circulate the holovids among the crew. We could host a mass viewing in the mess, or schedule a regular holovid night. Now we have the Argo Lounge. I think that makes sense. Okay, Darius instructs the staff to convert the lounge into one massive holovid theater one night each week. For the next showing, a random draw from the chip stack schedules an episode of the popular comedy series Minor Major. Jalopy spends the entire episode saying the hammy one-liners one beat before the actors, much to Glitch's frustration. Oh no! So Jalopy's in good mood, but Glitch is in low spirits. Well, how much travel time do we have? 7 days, so she's gonna be in low spirits for that time. Well, I guess Jalopy may be taking your spot in the roster. All right. That's fine. We do have that one pilot up and running now. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, we are going to want to do upgrades of our pilots and stuff that maybe I held off on. Let's see Ruthless now. Yeah, you're getting experience. Good job. All right. So let's continue to play here until we get to our travel destination, and then we'll worry about pilots and things. So Wolverine's done. That's going to be our last thing that we need to do. I'm going to leave everything just in case, again, we have damaged mechs and that kind of stuff that we have to repair. So let's go ahead and continue. All right, so the first thing I'm going to want to check is, do we have contracts here? Because that's going to really bum me out if we don't. All right, we've arrived at New Vandenberg. Okay, contracts. Okay, we do have stuff in system. As a matter of fact, we have 3 things in system. Unfortunately, none of them are actually for the faction we went to. Now, they're all low difficulty missions, so that's nice because they're still paying well. I'm actually really happy to see that. Okay, so, and this, we have our travel costs covered to go back to the priority mission, which also helps. All right, let's go ahead and go to our mech bay. Not our mech bay, our mech warriors. And see what we can do to level them up. So,
Commander.
Behemoth is now up and about. We'll go ahead and get... I really want to get this just for the sake of argument. So if she does punch, she will knock them down in initiative phase. That sounds pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and get that.
Mech warrior training complete.
Okay. Moving on. Decker.
Ready for orders.
3,800. What does piloting do for you? More sprint speed could always be nice. We could also get that gunnery skill up. Recoil penalty, I don't know, really helps us. There are advantages to getting that piloting up, because we could get more evasion, which could help us in the long run. This doesn't really help me now, though. Except for the max sprint speed, which at the moment we have no bonus to. So that would be a new bonus. Yeah, we'll take it. Confirm.
Training confirmed, Commander.
The glitch. I'm gonna hold off on, mostly because I don't feel like we have anything for her.
Standing by.
Jalopy, well, you're gonna be our new gunner, and I have you as backup gunner anyway. So we'll get you some gunnery skill. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Training complete.
And we won't get a lot of experience in the low difficulty missions, but it's a good way to get us money. Okay, and Medusa, I'm going to hold off on because right now we're probably not going to use you. And if we're not going to use you, I don't see a reason to give you anything. My pilot. Okay, having some overheat threshold would be nice. Was I not in the... I was not in the last mission, so I must have had that experience and I just didn't use it because it didn't matter. Alternatively, we do that, and it just gives us a little bit more accuracy. Let's go with the overheat threshold, though, as we will need it in that Griffin, even though I have made it more heat efficient.
Mech warrior training complete.
And Ruthless is just going to continue to get experience, so we'll just let that happen. We don't need her right now, but we may need her in the future. Okay, well, that's everybody ready to go. Let's go ahead and take a look at our contracts and decide on which one we want. All right, so we've got 3, 2 of which are going to be from the Capellans, and 2 of which I said, I'm not sure if I said that right. And then one's going to be from the Suns. So let's see what we've got. We've got Capture Base, Polar. We've got Battle, Lowlands. And then we've got Battle, Highlands. Okay, this would probably make the Taurians hate me, actually. So, this is going to be against the Taurians. So, I mean, we need the contracts. So, I can't not take it. Let's take a look at the store before we do that. Anything else? Before I forget. And before we start getting negative modifiers here, as the Taurians hate my guts. Alright, so we've got an AC2, nothing interesting. Damage 10 up. Well, that sounds pretty damn good. We're going to get a decent amount of money in this system, so I think we pick that up. Why not?
New weapon systems.
Okay, moving along. We've got an LRM-20. I don't know if I have any LRM-20s, so this is really tempting. 2 up a PPC, just all accuracy. Damage up twice. Wow, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, it's an SRM-2. Leg mod. It's got 2 pluses though, so is that just more damage? I mean, it's pretty heavy though, so I don't really care about death from above damage. So, but that is a special thing here. All right, well, you know, for this being a manufacturing world and having all this other stuff available, not really seeing anything here that strikes me as being super awesome. But I am going to take the LRM-20, I think. I do have to consider how much this is costing me, though. And that the 3 missions I'm going to take, yeah, they'll give me some money, but does that really pay for an LRM-20 like this? I'm going to pass on it, even though it is tempting. I think that's a little too rich for me. All right, let's get back to those contracts and decide definitively which one we want to do. Alright, so the Taurian Concordant controls a network of transports and warehouses and the new Vandenberg system, moving mostly mundane goods, but also a very few highly valuable goods. Our clandestine research efforts have acquired the latest shipping manifests and identified an opportunity for a swift, profitable strike at a key shipping hub. If timed properly, your mechs can strike quickly and pave the way for a Davian extraction team to empty the warehouse of its contents. Commander, if these are just mercantile goods, as they say, I don't expect very aggressive defenses, which doesn't appear that there is. Hot landing, satellite surveillance pictures so that a heavy lance was inserted onto our plant surface by a pirate dropship. So this is going to be against pirates, so this would not piss the Taurians off. We believe they're securing their LZ, preparing for whatever operation they have planned. Before they finish securing the area, we'd like you to interrupt them. They're heavily armed, so expect strong resistance. Now this says heavy lance, maybe heavy vehicles. That's probably the one I'm going to end up doing. It doesn't pay all that well, but it's a job and it's not that difficult. This one is after a recent skirmish with our forces, the surviving units of a Taurian lance escaped the battlefield. We believe they've managed to partially repair their mechs, and that means they're loose. They're a loose end that the Capellan Confederation would like to see tied off. Permanently track down these survivors and finish them off for good. Okay. Well, I think it's odd that the Capellans are paying me to track down pirates in Tarian space, but all right, whatever. But I think now that we've decided on what mission we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Because we had a lot of setup to do and some travel time and all that. And we'll do that battle in the next video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.